e-board and why vice president? Well, BSA was honestly my first family here. Like I remember like getting here and immediately like trying to find a way to get into BSA. And I'm not really quite ready to leave that family yet. And it was like, I've been here for like 2 years and stuff, but I still feel like I have like a lot to do and a lot to achieve with BSA. I've made some like cool friends on the e-board and General Wadi. And I really look forward to more people joining the e-board and seeing more new faces of the General Wadi. This is really my main like source of like, I guess like, so I get like my scoop on like the Black community and stuff. So I still want to be very well involved in that and working behind the scenes and being I don't feel that I'm done growing with BSA yet. As you can see, it's three plants, and I like to look at the first plant as like my first freshman year, South Campus Ambassador. The second plant is my director of marketing, and hopefully the third plant being my vice president here. And I just think that there's still like a lot for me to gain from BSA, and there's a lot to like see and do. And I still feel like I could do a lot for the organization yet. And I don't know, and I feel like I'll probably be the best, not probably, I feel like I'd be best for the job. I've been on the e-board for 2 years, so I kind of know how things work. BSA has also like provided me like an opportunity to have like a lot of new experiences. I've never been down south before, but because of BSA, I was able to do that. That's New Orleans. And not even just like traveling and stuff. I've never like been, in high school I didn't join, I wasn't in student org and stuff like that. I didn't take too many leadership roles, so BSA was my real first opportunity at doing those things. I really enjoyed doing those things. So I'd like to continue to do that and continue to provide myself with these type of experiences, because I don't really know what like colleges will probably look like yet. So get these lifelong experiences while I can. All right, so as director of marketing, like this is why I want to be vice president. So as director of marketing, I play more of like a background role, and I feel like I'm ready to take on a new challenge and being the connect between like our org and other orgs. I feel that other than being creative, I can be a great communicator and collaborator. So I really, I think that with my personality, I think that I'll be pretty good at like relating to like a lot of different people and stuff. So working with other orgs and stuff, I really think that I will also excel there. And I'd like to be the Joe Biden to like the future president Barack Obama. Like I feel that I'd be able to like help the president, make the president's job just like a little bit easier. Being that support system and have someone that's willing to take a leadership role if they if needed, like if they're not there or not like president. Like I think that I feel like I would be more effective in that position at this point in time. And I mean I look forward to doing that. And not just being a supporter to the president, but then to the entire e-board. Also with the vice president thing, I feel also, okay, so how do I plan to build on the work of the school year? I'm sorry, I got jumped over. How do I plan to build on the work of the school year? All right, so that's Steve Nash, addition, assist. So just being assist, like as vice president, I feel I would be taking a more supportive role. In my 2 years in BSA, I've become familiar with like all positions on the e-board. For the most part, I studied like a lot of like you guys' positions. So just taking my experience and using it to bring out the best of my fellow e-board, like fellow members of the e-board. I recognize that a lot of people that have been on BSA's e-board like the past 2 years will not be there like next year. So I will guess I would be considered the old head. So just like taking that experience and helping them be the best they can be, because you guys were doing what you guys did for me. Like that I really hope to be in that position. Collaborate. I plan to be more open to collaboration and to reach out to more orgs instead of like waiting on them to like reach out to us. I think that I feel if we establish that type of relationship with other orgs, there will be a more unified feeling between like, I guess all the orgs on campus. I feel like we're really like separate to like interests and stuff, and I think that it shouldn't be necessarily like that. We should all kind of like, we should be able to call. We should know who to call like if we like want to get like certain things. And I feel like a lot of our events, like a lot of other orgs would be able to help us with, like we really don't know that. So just being open to like working with them, like the small orgs and the big orgs. And I think that'll also help avoid situations like, beef between orgs and stuff. So. And also that would help like more students come to PSA, like if they see that their favorite or their personal favorites working at PSA, that might help us get more students. In the words of Clifford T.I. Harris, big things pop in, little things stop in. I want BSA to go big and to think big, and not necessarily spend a lot of money, but aim for like larger turnouts, have a larger role in the campus and Black community. I plan to help BSA create a larger presence on campus through like maybe setting up tables in the union or on the Oval or near RPAC in residence halls and stuff. Like I see a lot of student works out there like really passing out the flyers and stuff. So maybe printing our flyers out, like really like making BSA more visible to just more in the Black community and people in the Black community that may not, who may not like, be as connected as others. So just making BSA go, they can go big. And that's not always like just with funding and how much money we're spending. I feel like we can go big and still like we can be right in our spending. Learning from the past, rather that be failures, things that didn't quite work out the way we predicted, or even good events, or even events that did work out well, and figure out how to improve on those. And also just when we figure out like things that went right, like how do we continue to how do we get that resolved over and over again? Like let's not just settle for like, okay, this worked out once. Like let's figure out how to always do better, because there's always gonna be room for improvement. So, just learning from everything, and then taking the past 2 years that I had and applying those like all those different events we put together, just applying all those experiences to making sure that our next year is better than any year we've obviously had. All right, and then Super Saiyan LeBron. Now, what this represents is like, improving and becoming a better version, like a more vigilant version of myself. Like I know I can be like really relaxed and stuff. So like just taking more of a vigilant role, speaking more at events, making my voice and opinion heard, and take all my strengths and really apply them to my work. I have a lot of potential, and I feel that like I'm ready to really show and display that potential, and do my best. Like I joined BSA so I could leave my mark on campus, to really like take steps into doing that. What lessons from the school year will I take with me to next year? Okay, accountability, and that's something that was really important this year. Accountability, like taking responsibility for the things you say you're going to do, go to the things you say you're going to go to, show up when you say you're going to show up. Like that's really been like a big thing that I've been learning and working on this year. So that's something I'm going to carry not just in the next year, but for the rest of my life, just being accountable. I used to be afraid of like being reprimanded or getting like negative feedback and stuff, but I've learned that helps, like you gain something from that, and no one's going to get it right every single time. So just continue to remain accountable, and holding my other like executive board members to the same standard, like making sure they're accountable for the things they're doing, and not being relaxed, like it's okay, really keeping up that growth. Being punctual, I think that's something that like we all struggle with at some point. So like just continue to work on that. Like it says, one thing you can't recycle is wasted time. And thinking about like all the times I may have been late and stuff, was I really doing something that really required me to be late? And so just continue to work on that. And BSA is really helping with being punctual the most, because it's too hard. But it's translated over to my classes, my work, and everything. So just also continue on that. That's something that will be an important skill for life. So once again, not something just for next year, but for life. Move into the beat of my own drum, and through that I mean just always having like a little bit of me in all my work. Just always just being always true to myself and doing things out and be like represent with the Black community, the Ohio State community, and just like I feel like if you add a little bit of you to your work, it'll always stand out, like no matter what. So just continuing to do that. I think I'm pretty creative, really like a good communicator and everything. So like those are good things to always keep apparent. this year was like really like hard for me, like on the personal side, like just like I guess transitioning into being an adult. And one of the most important things I learned is like trying not to stress over things that I cannot control, and do my best on working on things that I know I can control. So not to stress myself out, because a lot of times I was sitting like worry about things people would say about BSA or things they thought. Like I know from being inside people that it's not like that, but things like that were frustrating. But I can't control what people have to say. The only thing I can honestly do is just be my best and do my best. And I'm just trying to apply that to life. So that's like one of the biggest lessons I've learned this year. I've also like try to become a better public speaker. That's something I've also learned. Like it's not, I don't have a fear of speaking, but I don't speak really loud, and I'm not really good at like please quiet down. Like you're trying to gain attention. So just I've taken like skills from like you guys and just others of being a more effective speaker in the crowd and making sure that my voice is heard and the messages gets out clearly. Like that's going to be important because I'm going to have to speak before say I get a board like a job in office, like speaking before a board or something, or let's say I become CEO, I still have to like stand up and speak before people. So just perfecting that skill. 3 areas of weakness for BSA to work on. All right, so I think BSA and Dragon Ball Z parallel, and this is why. It's fun, but like a long time criticism of Dragon Ball Z, maybe one of the biggest ones, is you can get a little repetitive. And I think that sometimes, us as BSA can get somewhat repetitive in our programming. And I think that may be reasons why some upperclassmen may like stop coming, or people create say a lot of things about BSA. So just like maybe working on or putting an emphasis on trying new things and new events. How we have like the two events or 3 events per person. Maybe making sure one of those is something like a new idea stuff, so we can like appeal to more people's interests. This would definitely help retain like upperclassmen or bring people back. Like, oh well, BSA is doing this. Wow, never seen that coming. So I think that just working on not being as repetitive. This is the Columbus skyline stuff, and believe it or not, I had not actually seen this until like a couple months into my school year. So, and I know people who haven't really traveled Columbus at all. So I think BSA could probably work on getting out of campus more, showing like we'd be really helpful to the students so that they like be able to be familiar with the area that they live in. Like they live in the city, so making sure that they like know where they're living. And like we'll also like through showing them the city, they find stuff they can do, which could also provide like alternatives to just going out every weekend or just sitting in. So that might like help some people feel not as trapped on campus. Like I feel like the more time you spend here, like it becomes small again. So showing people off the city and like giving them things to do, I think would be helpful, like just for them in life. Like I don't think we reach out to enough orgs, and I think that's why like sometimes there's a feeling of like it's us and them. And I think if we take time to reach out to smaller orgs or bigger orgs, I mentioned this earlier, but still reach out to smaller orgs and stuff, we'll like gain more like support for our events and stuff. People will be more willing to market for us and help us out. And if we we have to I feel like we have to meet people in the middle. And sometimes not even that, like actually like go out and try to get these people. Like I think it'd be helpful if we found like new student orgs, like student orgs that are just starting up and helping them out and stuff. They'll remember that, and they'll always support us. And like I mentioned before, there's so many people in these orgs that probably only go to this one org. So seeing that BSA helps their favorite org or helps the org they like, they'll be more likely to come check us out. Thinking outside the box, and this may just come from like my own personality, but I think that if we think outside the box and take a more creative approach to a lot of things we do, we'll stand out more. Working with the e-board I've been working with, like I find you ought to be like creative in your own way. So like applying those things to our programming, how we go about programming, how we go about marketing, like all different types of things, social media, or just speaking to people and stuff. Like I think that really yields some cool results. Like people like remember us more. If we're more creative in how we go about things, they won't feel. I don't think that they'll think we're as cliquish and stuff. Like they'll see, okay, they all have different personalities. They're all interested in things such as these and stuff. Like I think that that'll be beneficial in like attracting people to BSA and like letting them know that I don't know. But the type of people that BSA like who's behind BSA, who's working with these like, programs. And then the last one, just be the change we like want to see and stuff. I know people sometimes say that BSA is not at the forefront of like some of the problems and issues that they want to hear. So I feel like if we take initiative and they see BSA, you know, being vocal on the issues, starting these like rallies and stuff like that, or just you know, not appearing to be, but just being knowledgeable on the things that they care about. I think that'll like they'll follow suit with us, and people will be more inspired to take initiative and do things like for the community and stuff. I think we have to be like. A lot of people look up to us on campus, so I think we should take time out to show, like, just be more vocal and be more involved. Sometimes I feel like we stand by and just like, you know, wait until someone asks us to join. We should be the people starting it, not waiting to join. So.